Back in the home office, Anthony, I got to tell you, I'm getting used to doing these on-location things. That was so much fun.
I like that black shirt on you.
Hey, thanks.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, Anthony, so great to see you today. I'm telling you, I had so much fun doing that show from Midtown Manhattan and seeing Dave's Hotel. How cool was that?
I love it. I love the fact that you're somewhere at night. Your black shirt looks like you're about ready to mingle. Is that a new shirt? I really like it.
Actually, no. The first time I wore this shirt was at the party the night before I got married. So this shirt's over 19 years old.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Can you believe
It
it?
looks good on you.
I know. I think maybe because I'm getting back to the weight I was back in the day. When,
Actually, that shirt looks big on you.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
Why don't you tell us? Does the shirt
very, very handsome fella you are. But yeah, it was good to see David. It was good to see the hotel. And, it was fun. Listen, it's fun to be out in New York. And, New York is very weird right now because it's like somebody that's in a sprint, but jogging. It's like, dude, you're supposed to be going faster, but you're like jogging. That's how that's what New York looks like to me. It has all the elements of people there and people moving, but it's just not right in the groove yet.
Well, I think some of that probably has to do with the that Delta variant that's happening. And according to a new survey, Anthony, from the Global Business Travel Association, travelers are starting to lose confidence right now in travel because of these variants, right? So 65% of business travelers are feeling a little bit less confident, while 61% of leisure travelers are also feeling a little bit less confident.
Yeah. I'm going to an event in Vegas. Are you going? We're going to HD together, or I'm going?
No, you're going to that right now. I'm not scheduled to do that. I'm supposed to be going away, but we're a little bit nervous about leaving the country.
Where are you going?
We're supposed to go to Mexico next week, right? So
yeah.
We're actually starting to have discussions in our family about whether or not we should actually go ahead and do that. You know?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but they're still having the 6,000 people in Vegas, and I'm going, man.
And listen, and if I don't go where I'm going, maybe I will see you there. But one person we did get to see last week when we were at the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, a HOA event in Dallas, is our good friend and Chief Development Officer of Radisson Americas, Mr. Phil Hugh. Good to see you, man.
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
What's up, my friend? Good to see you. I was saying to Glenn, you're like your frequent flyer on the show. I love seeing you.
I love it. It's great. We had 2 weeks in a row. I got to see you at the main hangout in Dallas 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And then last week, we were so busy, I didn't even get to get in that podcast booth of yours, Glenn. But maybe the sponsor might not have wanted me in there.
Yeah, that's a very...
No, but Glenn, you know what's interesting? When we don't have Suzanne on, we give people new titles. You look at his title.
What did I do? It's CDO? What's wrong? Isn't he right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was a B. Sorry.
Oh,
I'll do whatever you want.
Well, we know what that B stands for, and that's why you're breaking heads and you're having success over there at Radisson. It's really exciting to see how you guys are starting to ramp up, how you're finding your voice, how you're going to be moving that company forward. But before we get to all of that, how are you feeling being out on the road with all of us again, at Alice, at AHOA, getting things done in person?
Well, I love it. As you know, I got COVID early, got the vaccines as early as possible, and off we went. It is nice to see everybody out there. I understand the fears, but the majority of the people, I think, are taking the precautions, and those that are compromised still are staying home. But it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I'm having...
Listen, I think it's going to come down, and I know it's controversial, but it looks like it's going to be mandated at some point because, like in New York right now, we cannot afford the restaurants to stop working again. And I know right now I'm not real fan of a vaccine passport for restaurants. I'm not at all. But I will tell you, there's a line at the CVS of people getting vaccinated because people don't want to not go to movie theaters, gyms, and restaurants. And listen, it's unfortunate, but it looks like it's eventually going to happen. We can't go backwards. We just can't.
I agree. There's United's taking one stance on it, with making everyone be vaccinated, and the other airlines are taking a totally different approach. And I think each company has to find its way, listen to their employees, listen to their guests, and create a safe environment. I was at one of our competitor hotels last night here in Atlanta, and they did a really great job. They still were, booking times in the gym. So they only allow 2 people in the gym at a time still. So it's every hotel's a little different. And I think we as industry professionals and travelers have got to feel it out in each city and each location we go to, and be understanding. So
Right.
I never know what's going to happen when I check into a hotel now.
Phil, your sound has gotten a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know what happened. It's getting a little pixelated and stuff like that. Maybe what you could do is if you just leave us, hit refresh on your browser, I'll bring you right back in, and hopefully that'll fix the sound. Okay, sir?
It sounds bad too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't really hear you.
All right, he'll be back in just 1 second. But Anthony, while we're talking about now getting back on the road, and when we were at AHOA last week, and even at that hotel yesterday, I like how I kind of accidentally put in the name there. It was really great to see everybody back doing business and stuff like that. Phil, welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, there we go, much better.
It's like a Verizon commercial.
I know. Or Sprint, depending on who's paying that guy in any particular year, right?
Higher.
Yeah. Okay. So it's great that you guys are all getting back at it. It's great that you're rethinking it. Right now, I feel like we're kind of in the get to know the people behind the company phase. How are you seeing what's going on right now at Radisson Americas, and how you're starting to rethink everybody and reintroduce yourselves to the hospitality community out there?
Well, we're going back to the basics and relying on our relationships, as we always do. Radisson is a phenomenal product throughout the world, the globe, probably even better than what we have here with regards to our blue and our Radisson collections. And we've been able to, the last several years, they've done a great job in shrinking the brand purposely and making sure that product that was not up to speed left or renovated. We never want to see somebody go, but that may be their choice. And many of them have elected to stay and renovate. And because of that, we've had just huge success. I think the team that, I go back to Jim Alderman, he's the architect of this. He put a phenomenal team on the field to support me, brought me in and gave me carte blanche to go draft the best players in the business. And we've had great success since then. Starting in, let's say we got them trained in September and hit the field in October.
Right.
And we've seen over 40% growth in just Radisson core brand alone.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
And even more exciting is I will tell you, we've probably got 15 Radisson core products that are applications in-house and working to sign over the next 4 or 5 weeks. So that'll take that number to over 50% growth just for Radisson. And then we're re-energizing, reimagining Country Inn and Suites. News at 11 on that.
Yep.
So a lot of great activity and conversation. The team we have internally, starting with the finance team, they're phenomenal. Teamwork works is one of my line. And when I got here, they get it. So they're working with our customers. They're working with the development team to make sure we have the resources need to be successful. And then you go into that design and construction team, and we say, look, Country Inn needs a refresh, and they're all over it. And that's what, it's a large company globally, but we're a smaller organization in the Americas where you have great access to us. And, we leverage those relationships, leverage time with the executive committee with great support behind it. And people are listening. They're turning their heads and making us part of the conversation, as I like to say.
Right.
I don't know you as well as Glenn does, but I've been in your company enough to know that I haven't seen you this excited. You almost seem restless.
Oh, I love it. I don't sleep. As Glenn knows, I lock myself down around 8:30 at night so I don't get in trouble. And 3 or 4 in the morning, we're up and ready to go. So it's fun, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it because of the success and the people I work with. I mean, seriously, the team of people that I have. I'm at one of our customers' developers' office here in Atlanta. They're in there negotiating a deal without me right now, so who knows what that Jason Yarbrough is doing.
Yep.
And we've already signed a 350 room project with them, and we're negotiating 5 or 6 more right now. And
wow,
it's exciting to be with the team, and then people that have not looked or been with Radisson before, giving us a chance to present our brand and our vision and what we're trying to accomplish.
That's excellent. Could you talk a little bit about how you folks over there in the America side really have autonomy these days? Because I think that's a big change with the company since the current team came on board with Jim Alderman as CEO, for example, yourself and all those guys. It's kind of like Jin Jiang has kind of said, all right, you can do what you want to do. We'll stay out of it.
Well, without getting into all the complicated legal side of things,
right.
We are completely separate from what we call rest of the world, but we work in concert.
Yes.
We have, Jim has full decision-making authority for everything we do in the Americas. He has a phenomenal support from a board of directors that are here in the U.S. And when things need to get elevated to certain levels, we go to our parent company and ask for support. And so far, in the 13 months I've been here, we've had great support on all levels. What's nice about it as well is we still have the global power of Radisson there, but we're not caught up in the bureaucracy you might find in other organizations, because they've given us, Jim's the president and CEO and is moving the organization forward. So we're not right. Stuck with multiple meetings talking through things that can be that should be a simple decision. And
wait.
Trust me, I've been with those companies where those long decisions.
I take offense to that you say there's bureaucracy in brands. I take offense to that.
What do I know?
I've been doing this a long time, and I've never seen bureaucracy in brands.
I just had a birthday, so what's this year? 30, I think, doing this. So
wow.
in one aspect or another.
Only 30. Come on, I've been doing this since '86. How many years is that? 96, 2006, 2000. So 35 years. Oh my God, 35 years.
You just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, so I think it's really important. The reason why I bring that whole thing up, that you guys are really working autonomous, is that seemed to have been an issue with previous administrations within your organization there. It made it difficult for them to build the level of trust with some of the hoteliers here in America, and it prevented the president of that division at the time to be able to really make changes. Now that you've been released from that, you're able to make real definitive changes that appeal towards American owners, as well as what's going to be coming up the country and the customers that stay within the hotels as well.
Yeah, I think it's the flexibility and looking at it through their eyes. We're working with entrepreneurs that don't want to be boxed in, but understand that we have to have standards and have a brand in place so that the consumer's attracted to it. But we listen, and from what I've seen so far, we've made some really smart decisions, and the product that's coming in to the system is reflective of the brand, but also reflective of the area. What we just opened a Red at Miami Airport. It's phenomenal. It fits the location it's in, and it's much different than the Radisson we opened on Miami Beach, which is different than the one we just opened on Panama Beach, and is vastly different than the one we did in Grand Rapids, but it still has that Radisson feel to it and a consistent nature. So
when you speak to owners that are coming from different brands, is there a common theme when they're coming to you of something that they may be frustrated with, or something they don't want to go through again? Is there a common thread?
I think that there's a frustration of access and a frustration of some brands not listening. And I could tell you, it's always been my philosophy, but it is in concert, in line with Jim. He wants to listen to the franchisees and understand what they need. We're doing the multiple of the projects we're signing are with new franchisees that are currently not in the system, or they entered the system in the fall and now they're doing their second or third or fourth deal with us.
Right.
We're not seeing a ton of activity from our existing franchisees, and I respect and trust that, because it's a wait and see. COVID's happening, new leadership team. We want to do more stuff with you. We want to see exactly where you're headed. And I love it, because we're getting this done with people that are looking for a new home, and our existing franchisee base is now starting to get energized and start talking about new projects, because they see stability in the leadership team. And I think that allows the owners to say, okay, now I can go back to my investors and come back with a different opportunity.
Yeah.
Literally just did it because the group I'm with asked me. There's over 30 Marriott properties or Hilton properties or Wyndham properties within 3 miles of me, 4 miles of me.
Right.
I mean, and that's so they're looking for a brand that doesn't have so much product and can get special attention. It's different strategies, but it gives us a point of difference, and we're taking advantage of it.
Listen, this whole different strategy thing, I've been hearing this for years. And when there was 3 brands from the same company in the same market that was 10 miles away, I believed it. I don't even want to hear that anymore. I mean, I've just been doing revenue management long enough to know when you have 30 of your products in a 3-mile radius, you cannot. It's like, how do you manage that? Like, if I'm an owner, how do I know you're not taking my share? I don't mean you, but I'm just underlining, your point. I'm underlining your point that there's too many products in one area.
Well, at least in my career, maybe not at the beginning, but in the last, I'd say at least 10 to 15 years.
Right.
I've realized that myself. When the brand architecture is important, and the real estate company I was with, they had 5 brands. They didn't compete. They were vastly different. And then at Red Roof, one brand, one focus, and all of a sudden that didn't work anymore because we wanted to get into extended stay. And it worked because it's a vastly different product and a different guest. And the same at Radisson, which is when I did my due diligence, Jim was a great salesman, but I was already bought in when he took the job. The brand architecture here doesn't compete. Country doesn't compete with Radisson, and Radisson is different than Red and Blue. And then you get up into Collection. We're not going after the same guest at the same location. And I honestly believe the guest note is learning that, but more importantly, the developer and entrepreneurs knowing that.
It is. You have the right assortment of brands. It hits the right type of category. So when you talk about those swim lanes that everybody likes to talk about, you could actually mean it. Another brand that you have great opportunity with here in the United States that I don't think has been leveraged anywhere to possibility is Park Inn by Radisson, for example. So that's another one. I happen to be not at the Radisson Red Miami Airport right now. Got to tell you, what a great design for an airport product. That's not necessarily, you don't think hip, you don't think necessarily cool and lifestyle feeling when it comes to staying at an airport.
And the owners are extremely pleased. We just had the grand opening, and you always go down and say, first thing is, how are you performing? And they said, look, we turned on the system, and I hate to use the word surprise. They were amazed about the reservations that started kicking in immediately. Right. The hotel's been running an extremely high occupancy. Obviously, you're at the Marriott, you're at the Miami Airport, but you're also, the area is just popping right now, and they're pleased and talking to us about more opportunities as well. So that's what helps us. The growth helps if you do it right.
It really,
that you said it, but it's got a similar feel and flair to what we have in downtown Minneapolis, the Red down there. I'm heading there in 2 weeks, I think.
It's killing you not to be in that room right now.
They're consistent.
It's killing you not to be in that room right now, isn't it?
Oh, they just walked out. They're eating, so I don't know what they signed.
Well,
Jason's been with me so long that I know it's inside the box, so we're good.
Yeah. Really, really great. Love seeing this direction that you're going in, but it's also essential for people to kind of get to know you guys as human beings, as individuals, see your, the lighter side of you. And that's hard to see when we're in the business environment, although, we have a couple of drinks, everybody gets real. That's why I love what you're doing now with this new ad campaign. Here's a picture of Jim, for example. What a great picture this is.
I love this stuff.
Right?
Yeah, we took it to a different level. I walked in and it was the same old from our franchise advertising and marketing. Mm-hmm. And, it's a picture of a beautiful hotel in Amsterdam, a great hotel in Miami. Right. And as I walked through the trade show floor that day, all I saw was beautiful hotels. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see the personality of the brands. And I said, we've got cool, great people. Our philosophy is based on relationships. And so we're rad, baby. And relationships are different. They're unique. And we've got a CEO that Nolly tends bar, he raises it. And He was willing to come down and do a photo shoot with us. And show a little personality. And he's at that's actually in our Atlanta Airport Radisson. Great hotel.
We all remember that CEO that was sitting on the corner of his property years ago, 100 floors above Vegas Strip, and it still penetrates me. It penetrates my head. This picture right now of the CEO, like, that's fun. I want to know the personality. I think, like, internally, the reason we have so much respect for Arnie Sorensen is because internally we knew who he was, and I love that. I just absolutely love this.
So let's see who Phil is. I love this one.
A mean dog. As you know,
what's the look on that? What is that all about?
Well, everybody said I smile too much, so I'm like, all right, I'll give you that's my mean look, I guess. I don't know, but
it looks like you're about to take over the world with some evil plot. I love it.
The dog.
No, but the dog takes away from, you're not evil. You're like the nicest guy in the world.
Right. The dog's the best.
He's been on his cigar and scotch.
I love that too. We've got several dogs, and I know it's always been sort of the personality. We want people to know who we are and that we're real, and frankly, I want you to just say, hey, what's going on over there? And that's what's happening. It's like, what is that? Exactly. Come talk to us.
Excellent. And then finally, Jason Yarbrough. This is an awesome one too.
Yeah, no one ever gets to see Jason's sleeve. He's always in a long sleeve shirt when he's working. And I said, Jason, we got to rip that out. So he actually took a very expensive suit there, ripped off the sleeves.
I was going to say, his suit was hurt in the making of that ad.
Yeah, and Jim offered to reimburse him. He said no. And that's his Harley, and that's in the Radisson airport as well. So we pulled that in there. Our owner there, Jamal, is a great guy. Had a lot of fun with it. We tried to get him on the bike in the picture, but he wouldn't jump on. So
that's too bad.
Just a little bit of something different, something to make developers and owners turn their head and make us part of the conversation.
It makes you look human. It makes you look human.
Yeah. Well, and just talk to us. We don't plan on signing every deal. We're not the right brand in every market. I'd rather tell you, no, do something different that's going to work, but hey, we'll work great here.
What was the one lesson that you've learned over your long career where you said yes to somebody and you went against your gut? And you don't have to tell me the deal or the person, but you went against your gut, and that lesson probably stayed with you going forward, that you do walk away from deals.
I'll just go philosophically. I think early in my career, we were all about numbers. We weren't growing portfolios. We weren't helping them improve their assets. We were selling franchises. And, over the years, people changed their name from franchise salespeople to now they're development experts or development specialists. We sell franchises. We're just going to sell them to the right person at the right time and the right place. And we're not a public company. While I've got aggressive goals, I'd rather say the goal wasn't met because we did the right deal than do something that's going to hurt an owner. And we see it all the time. You see it all the time.
Yeah. And that's really so essential. So it must be fun helping build a trust and a rapport with people now ahead of time before you start to roll out all of these new opportunities with the company.
Well, it's always, I think I've said this 10 times. It's all about relationships.
Yeah, right. And it is.
Look to me, not even to me, to my team. They're your advisor. They are obviously motivated to sign new projects into the Radisson family, but ultimately they know that one project could ruin their career, because if it doesn't perform,
right, or
something doesn't work, then that's your reputation. The 30 good ones you did, everybody forgets about.
And you aggravate the revenue manager, you aggravate marketing, you aggravate everybody because you brought a bad deal to the family, and now the family's got to manage this deal.
Right, exactly. So do it right the first time.
All right, so Colleen asks, Phil, how in the world was there any property available to build a new hotel in Miami?
Well,
it's a submarine.
Yeah, they bought that a long time ago, but funny enough, there's plenty of land in Miami to be building new. Especially there's sites actually right across from where this was built. There's 3 hotel sites available right there. Wow. Probably not a time to add more supply there, but there's land available. And that project probably started 6 years ago, 7 years ago when the first conversation started happening, and then they started going through the entitlement process, et cetera.
That's pretty exciting. So one of the things that you folks do is you're going to help them find land as well. So you partner with the developer. You might know a property. They may have a property, but you kind of all try to work together to find the best solution to get some of these in the ground.
Well, I think all brands do this, but we're pretty good at it as well. We bring them opportunities. I mean, literally, the ones we're working on today are ones that we sourced through, capital partners that aren't on the market, that they may want to sell, and it creates opportunity. And finding land, fine, but it's really finding, in my opinion, great assets right now that we can convert. And there's a ton out there right now. So we source deals for them, and they're buying them. I mean, I would say probably out of if we're going to sign another 10 Radissons in the next 30 days, I bet you we sourced 6 or 7 of those.
Wow.
Where we found the owner, introduced them, walked them through the process, and they move forward.
And that's probably a better way of doing it, simply because you're in control of the place that you're going to put the hotel. The owner's appreciative to you. He's loyal to that because you bought the deal. So it's probably a good way to do business.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, and then ultimately the phone rings our way as well, because they're like, look, hey, you helped me out on that one. Here's an opportunity. What do you think? And then we go look at it and see if it works. As I say, we're never going to be the best deal on the street. We're not going to be the best financial terms. It's just not in our nature. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to be competitive. But if you're looking for the best deal and it's all about that initial investment, we're not going to be the company that's going to win that. But if it's about being loyal, if it's about having the hard conversation around why are you doing this? Is this going to work? And you're looking for help, this team's there for you.
What happens with a lot of these markets? There's so many brands that no brands are available. So this owner is used to going to a certain brand that's not yours, and they have to come to you simply because they have a deal and they need a brand and they can't find a brand. How do you deal with that? Because I'd imagine that happens from time to time.
Well, I was just at a HOA, so I found 10 brands I didn't even know about. So people are creating brands left and right. And I'm like, wow, I guess we needed another extended stay brand by the same company.
With just a different color and a different share in the corner.
So,
yeah, but to be fair, they're priced $3 difference for the consumer. So that clears it up right there.
I didn't say that. But, for us, it is that. I think a lot of it's like, look, there's, 30,000 rooms or 10,000 rooms in this particular metro area under one company. Mm-hmm. And we may have, 1,000. So it provides, a clean channel to them and a higher level of attention. I mean, our operations, what we call a management company model. I think Bill Hall on my team, back when we were all with Wingate forever and a day ago, that was the philosophy. Low number of hotels per operation person. We answer the phone, we get back to you, and we're there to help you. And I think that service level, is appreciated by the owners that are on property, but also, the ones that aren't, the GMs and the directors of sales that can pick up and get an answer very quickly and get some consulting help is what franchising is all about.
All right, quick hotel history lesson. Wingate was the first ever new build brand from Wyndham. It was known as Ascendant back then, I believe, when that was developed. Keith Pierce, who's now over at Sonesta, was the one who helped create that. And it was a really big move for Ascendant at the time to go from this collection of brands that they had purchased to going ahead and launching their own in-house. So I just wanted to get that out there. But Phil, let me go back to what you were talking about, conversions. How is this conversion market different now than in other down cycles that we've seen? Has COVID, for example, made people rethink the flag that they have on their building in a different way than maybe we've seen traditionally in the hospitality business?
Yeah, for all the reasons we just discussed. I think that they're looking to say, wow, we've got a lot of rooms in this market under one family of brands, and maybe we should look somewhere else. I'm not saying they always sign, but that's a lot of the conversation right now. With what we've been able to do on a global footprint and what we've created literally in the last year of energy and excitement around it, that's sort of like, hey, we're not sure we want to do this, but let's talk. What would work for us here is a new brand. Maybe it's with you. But we like that, there's not, 15 Radisson core properties competing against each other under one name or another in the same marketplace. So it certainly has changed it. It's also, obviously, we haven't got into the whole debt and refinancing and that structure. That's still very challenging. I mean, every project we have right now has some sort of financing challenge. Not that it's not going to be overcome. It's taking longer to get it squared away.
Right. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. Anthony?
No, it's just when you're talking about the debt, it is. I'm seeing it myself. It's challenging, and people aren't putting their money to work until they see something that is going to really pay, dividends, because there's not a lot of urgency, because there's not a lot of people wanting to take a price that we thought that you would be at before the pandemic. We thought the pricing on hotels, you'd be 20 cents on the dollar, and it's over where it was in 2019. So that's why they're not putting the debt to work. We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So true. Phil, any other thoughts before we wrap this up with you today, sir?
No, hey, great seeing you guys. Thanks for all the support. And like I said, we've got some exciting news coming out around Country Inn here in the fall. We've got some real excited news about maybe entering a segment that we're not in, but all that due diligence is being completed. Again, keeping with that brand architecture that doesn't compete, but what product don't we have? So I think that'll allow us to expand our brand portfolio slightly and still be loyal to our past.
And talking about AHOA, we all know Rachel Humphrey from AHOA. She said she's retiring. And Saturday morning, I went to text her, and I went to her LinkedIn to see if anything changed. And man, it said retired.
Retired.
I know.
We're gonna miss her, but there's some great new leadership in there with Ken Green over there now as interim president.
Yep.
I think that gives a lot of stability there. Ken and I go back to the HFS Sendent days with Keith Pierce and all the rest. So it's really sad to see her go, because we had a great relationship, but excited for her to maybe relax a little bit and spend some time with her family.
Yeah, we kind of feel the same way. She is going to be missed in our business. Hope she gets bored on the sidelines and comes back.
Dude, man, that was hard, man. Saturday morning, retired.
Done.
All right.
That was a long week. That was a long week for her, I'm sure.
Sure, on top of the long week before that. But that's why you're the man. You can handle all of these events. We will see you on the road, Phil Hugh. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thanks for your time, guys. Take care.
Peace out.
We will.
All right, that was great. It's fun to get an update from these guys, and don't worry, we're going to have them on again and again as they start to unload all of these new programs, unveil some of these new programs that they have out there, the reinvention of Country Inn and Suites, this mystery brand that they're going to be talking about, all of these exciting things.
It's great to see his excitement, because, and talking to a lot of leaders around the industry, people are tired and people are a little dejected, and and I'm already reading on some people's brains retirement. So it's great to see someone that still looks like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, absolutely. So our good friend Chip Rogers of the American Hotel and Lodging Association has secured, along with the Biden administration and the SBA, the opportunity for hoteliers to get up to $2 million more in funding per property, or up to $10 million. Now, Chip was supposed to join us today, but he couldn't make it at that time. So I happened to have done an interview with him that runs about 4.5 minutes or so. Do you want to watch it now?
Why don't we do that?
All right, let's do that, guys. I've never done this particular feature on StreamYard before, so give me a second. Let's give it a try. Chip Rogers, so great to see you, and thanks so much for doing all that you do to help our business, including what you just helped with right now. You and your team over there partnered with the Biden administration and the SBA to improve the EIDL loan programs. Why are hoteliers rejoicing about this move this morning?
Well, this is a big, big win for the industry. Yeah, we started working on this actually back during the Trump administration, because the EIDL wasn't really working for hospitality. If you recall, when it was created, it was supposed to partner up with the PPP to provide that additional liquidity to hoteliers. It never quite worked. So we've been working on this my goodness, for probably almost a year now.
Wow.
I want to thank the SBA. They've done a great job. Now, under this new program, up to $2 million per property, up to $10 million per entity. These are non-collateralized, very, very low interest loans. And I think this is going to really, really help a lot of hoteliers.
I think so too. As low as 3.75% interest over a 30-year fixed amortization period. If you're taking out $2 million over 30 years, that's really helpful to help hoteliers be able to keep their businesses running without having a huge burden of an additional monthly payment. Right, Chip?
Absolutely. And again, if you have more than one hotel, you can get up to $10 million max per entity.
That's
one
amazing.
One of the keys to this was waiving the affiliation rule. And that was a huge win for us. And for those in the SBA world, you know what that means, but it allows virtually every hotel to be able to take advantage of this now.
That is absolutely fantastic. So how are some hoteliers out there, do you feel, are going to deploy this much needed cash for those that are in the have not category of this bizarre thing that's happening? Either it's feast or famine out there, depending on where you're located.
Well, everybody's got their own story and their own challenges, but kind of the recurring themes that we're seeing is, first and foremost, so many hoteliers had to delay payments or defer payments. This will certainly help them be able to get caught up with those payments.
Right.
The second part is, as you know, it is a highly, highly competitive market right now for labor. This will help bring more people back on board and keep those folks that are already working for you. So across the board, this is going to help everybody.
That is super important. And speaking of that labor issue, Chip, prior to the COVID crisis that we had, there were over 1 million jobs open. Now there's something like 3 and change million jobs open. Plus, I know the AHLA is very involved in trying to help get people back to work. What kind of update can you give us today about how you're trying to assist in this particular situation?
It is still a struggle, but please go to hotelsarehiring.com. We created this website, which will really lead you into almost a virtual type job fair to help both employers and employees. So if you're looking for work, go to hotelsarehiring.com. And if you have openings, which is virtually everyone, let us get you up on that site and be able to match you with people who want to enter our industry. And so really making a big push on this because, as you noted, Glenn, this was a major problem before the pandemic. It's even worse today.
Yeah, it sure is. It's become a lot more acute, and I can't go anywhere, Chip, without hearing stories or seeing firsthand the ramifications of the labor shortage that's out there. But one thing that may help the overall business of hotels, but might not necessarily get employees back into the buildings, is this incredible infrastructure package that's going on right now. The Senate passed the bipartisan infrastructure bill. While something happened, how do you feel it's going to help the hospitality industry overall?
Well, there's good and bad in this legislation. The good is that United States infrastructure has been crumbling for decades. Many Congresses and presidents have looked at this, tried to figure it out. So it's good that they're making this investment. It is a long-term investment, and they should be applauded for that. The bad part of it is one of the pull-forwards right now in the Senate version is the employee retention tax credit, which has been extremely helpful to a number of hoteliers. We're hoping to be able to save that in the House because that program works. It really helps a struggling industry. And so if we can keep the employee retention tax credit and have the infrastructure bill stay intact, that would be a huge win-win.
I hope so. My fingers are firmly crossed that we get back to it with programs such as this that you've put in place. Now, if I'm a hotelier and I want to learn more about how to leverage this opportunity, do I go check with my local bank? Do I go to the SBA Direct? How do I tap into this EIDL opportunity?
The easiest way is simply, and I hate to self-promote, but go to our website because we have all the details there and we'll help you walk you through it. We had that incredible SBA webinar. We were the first organization that they went to make sure that hoteliers knew about this. We've recorded that, and that's available for everybody. And so we'll have all the information there for you, and it should be a fairly easy process. It'll be quite similar to PPP.
Great. Thank you so much, Chip Rogers. We really appreciate everything that you're doing to make sure hoteliers are successful every day in business. All right. So that was great to get to talk to Chip. Sorry that we had to do it early this morning, Anthony. We couldn't get him on live.
No, that's great, man. That's a lot of good information. And when's Chip running for president? That is so critically important, especially with we don't know what's going on with the Delta variant. So it's almost like kind of if God forbid things start happening where they're shutting down again, there's almost like a jump start. So he's just a genius, just a hardworking guy, and he tries to stay below the radar, even though he has a very high profile position. He just does the work, man.
Yeah, he really does. So if you guys need some more information on how to get that valuable funding, go check out ahla.com. And what I really like, Anthony, is you can get up to 30 years. If you're taking $2 million over 30 years, that really breaks it down into bite-sized pieces that hoteliers could really afford, and it's not going to be too onerous to pay back.
You won't even feel it on the P&L.
Right. Excellent. Any final thoughts with you today before we wrap up?
No, sir. I will be in Georgia tomorrow. Talking to a bunch of executives at a major company, and I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. I will not be doing that tomorrow. I will be goofing off in Atlantic City, getting ready to see the fish shows. Tune in to Friday Night Audit tomorrow at 5. You can see me and my hooligan friends all there, and they're going to tell all these stories about us going to concerts, what it's like life on the road, and all of that kind of fun stuff. We're going to have a whole great time. And then tune in on Monday, Anthony, because we're going to be coming live to you from the Showboat. Well, I'll be live there. I should say I'll be coming to you half dead from the Showboat, where we'll be staying all weekend. Chris Green will be on. You'll be on. We'll be able to talk about what he's seeing, what they're thinking about, and how they're redeveloping that Showboat property. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Very cool, my friend.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, you guys are out there. You're getting busy. And I'm just thinking about when I'm driving down to Atlantic City, I want to hear podcasts. I don't have time to watch it. So that's why I'm going to be tuning into No Vacancy Live and checking in with Anthony and Glenn on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, on Stitcher, on Google Play, all of that kind of stuff. Wherever you get the shows, well, we are there. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. If you want to reach out to any of us individually on social media, he's at Anthony Hotels, and I am at Traveling Glenn. Wow, made it through another show. Let's get out of here.
A great show.
Yeah, this is really great. Love the guys over at Radisson. They're really good, honest people. Can't get enough of Chip Rogers, and we love having you with us each and every week. We'll see you guys Monday, and until then, remember, you've got one life, so blaze on and
be kind to yourself.
see you next week.